Alright, we're gonna be covering me. This is a quick guide on taking high ground as a non-mobile tank, right? I think this is probably directed to maybe like low diamond below players who sometimes play like ground bound, especially brawly heroes like, Reinhardt, Orisa, Ramatra, etc. And they don't know when or how to take high ground. So this game that I played was just messing around with new Orisa. I think it's a good example of just like demonstrating how to take high ground. Junkertown's a pretty tough map to play for Brawl heroes. I don't typically play Brawl on this map, but it is totally doable. So we'll just kind of go through like the reads here and what we're thinking. But we're primarily focusing on the high ground control. So Junkertown, first point. The primary goal of tanks in this situation is pretty much always you want to figure out how to control this space right here, right? So this is like kind of step one, and then you control this space over here, right? That's step two, and then this space over step three, right? And then you're good to go, right? And then you kind of push into the last part of the point take. So how do I take point one? Well, if you're playing Sigma, which is one of the most common heroes here, you just spam it, right? You just stand right here, you spam it, right? And then you're good. Very simple, very straightforward. If you're playing dive, then you often are going to walk up here, right? And then you're going to jump onto it from there, right? Again, pretty straightforward. Obviously, Ball has a different rollout. Ball has some pretty fancy rollouts on this map. But, very straightforward. You dive onto it. But what if you don't play anybody who has any mobility? So the dominant way of taking this is that you go up, across, over here, and then this way onto high ground, right? And then that's really important, just understanding like maps, is figuring out like what are the directions I can go. I can go this way, I can go this way, right? If you need the barrels. If you have any speed, you can go directly across, otherwise you need to jump over here. So that's the route that we're thinking here. Like my job as tank here is to take high ground. They always use high ground here, like virtually every single game you'll ever play, people are going to be playing up here. So I'm going to spin out. I know, like I need spin eventually, but I know that I can't go right away. I have to give my team time to walk out of spawn, sit on the cart, push it up a little bit. So I'm not planning on running and doing this right away. I'm going up here just to take a look. Hey, look, what's the lineup? Poking a little bit. I understand they have a Zen here, so that's dangerous. Widow's also dangerous, right? If I get low enough, I can get blown up. Just chilling right now. I'm waiting for my spin cooldown, right? Poking a little bit, looking for an opportunity. Okay, I have opportunity, right? I'm getting healed right now. I'm good, right? Just poke a little bit, poke the Widow a little bit. All right, great. Widow's dead. Now time to go. So again, you can jump across here directly with no speed. With any speed boost, like Ramatra speed, Reinhardt charge, Risa spin, you can go directly across. You can make it, I think, on a regular jump if you go like all the way to the corner, but typically, in a real like contested situation, you don't want to be trying to line it up. So I spin, jump right over, and I'm immediately on high ground. So from here, my job is basically done, right? From here, it's just brawl out. Now in this situation, we already have the pick, so the team's already backing up. So we're gonna push forward. It's actually not gonna work out for me. I feel like I have a good situation with the Ramatra. I'm like, all right, fine, I just keep blowing them up. My goal here is 2 seconds. I'm going to spin it back to my team. At this moment, when I'm like, wait, actually, there's no healing for me, I realize that my team is running Mercy Iliari, so that's actually my fault for not paying attention to what my supports were. Because, like, Baptiste keeps me alive here, Ana keeps me alive here, Kiriko keeps me alive here. But I was like, oh, shoot, like, you should never expect your Mercy to heal you as a tank. And your Iliari can only heal me if I'm close to her. So I was like, oh, shoot, I've already screwed up here, which is fine. I learned from this mistake and then play differently the rest of the game. So come back out again. Right? So once again, they have control of high ground. My goal is to take this. I'm heading to the right, poke out the Ramatra. I drop here because I realize that I actually don't need to jump out this way. I'm actually going to go to the right here very quickly, and it's faster for me to drop right away versus taking this path, which takes me slightly out of the way. Oh, no, actually, I'm thinking about moving the cart first because I realize that we actually need to get the cart to this corner for them to actually pay attention to this side because I don't want to walk into the teeth of the whole team. So they're all here. From this angle, I cannot walk up and do this. If I walk here, that Zen is going to obliterate me, right? As I try to walk over here and try to go up, that's not going to work for me. So what I'm doing is I'm baiting them in over to the left side to make them think, oh, left side's where we need to focus, blah, 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 right? I hear /see stuff going on the right, and now is where I start my rotation to the right. Plus the Ramatra drops right here for no reason. So Ramatra's out of position right now. Right, burn him down. Just knocking him back, making sure he doesn't get more damage. Now I push the right side, hopefully. Ideally should be happening. Yep, just staying alive right now. Alright, poking the Widow, make sure she doesn't kill anybody. I'm eventually going to rotate. Yeah. Now I'm going to rotate to the right side, hopefully. Yes, here we go. Okay. So, after dealing with their push on us, because Ramatra was pushing my back line, that's why I go back, I pushed their flank, because walking out here is kind of a death trap, right? Again, multiple different long-range angles for them to kill me. If I go this way, I've shortened the angle, right? If I am playing as the tank in this situation, if I'm playing here, okay, red team gets to shoot at me from here and here. Long angles. Bad for me. But if I'm playing here, right, then red team has a very short angle over here against me. So I can cover this distance much faster and be much more threatening if I take that short angle. Doesn't always work out for a lot of different reasons. Mostly, like, do you have support with you? Are your team applying pressure, etc., etc.? But in this situation, I feel very confident. They're a very low damage lineup, other than the headshots, which is why I dodge initially, make sure I don't get hit by the headshot there. Alright, spin. I go in for the mega before I realize Mercy's healing me, so I'm good. I pop Fortify here to make sure I can't get headshot. Chase down the Widow. Widow leaves. Fine, great. I totally ignore her. Not my job anymore, right? Now that she's moved, not my job. Force out Kitsune. Good. Kitsune forced. Now you'll notice that the whole team is collapsing in on me. So if we wind this back. So before I push in, look at their positioning. Yeah, clump here, clump here, clump here, and they're all looking this way. Right? But as I push in, you're going to notice that they're all going to flip around and ignore my entire team over here, which is good, right? That's exactly what my Widow wants. And now that I pushed in, right, this, other than the Sombra, you'll notice that all four of them, right, all four of them are now looking at me, which is good. This is exactly what space creation is about as a tank. As long as I won't die here, this is what I am looking for. So as I come in here, right, I force out Kitsune, right? Again, the Ramatra's focusing me. The Widow's up here. The Kiriko's over here. Zen's out there. Everyone's trying to shoot me and burn me down. So my goal is to stay alive, right? All I gotta do is stay alive. I recognize, look, I'm low health here. My Yari is still really far away because she's on the cart. So I have to pop ulti just to stay alive right now. I'm not trying to kill anybody, just trying to stay alive, which is fine. Right? Just chilling, which is good because I feel like we're still gonna win this fight, even if I have to waste the ultimate to stay alive. Burn the Ramatra, right, knock him back, make sure he can't go for my team. I pop Fortify because in this situation, I'm not imminently in danger of death, but because I know how little healing I get this game, I need to pop Fortify at a higher health amount than I would otherwise because I'm trying to reduce the overall amount of damage I take because sustain here matters more than it typically does. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense, but I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining it, but the short answer is the more sustain you have, the more you can save Fortify. The less sustain you have in your team, like the less healing you have, then you need to pop Fortify earlier in order to reduce your overall damage taken. Take the load off your supports. Trance gets forced, excellent. Right? I spin back, just trying to get a little bit of space, not take too much damage right now. Ramatra pops ulti. Okay, great. What's my job right now? My job is to prevent the Ramatra from killing anybody. So you can see, I cut him off. I understand he's trying to go for the Mercy. I cut him off, I javelin him away. Only person here is zapping is me. And I've said this a million times, but for Ramatra, his annihilation does like basically 0 damage against tanks. It's 30 damage per second, which is nothing against tanks. So I can base tank him the whole time. It's not a problem at all. I do more damage than him. Even with ulti, I do more damage than him. No problem, right? I just Fortify. I understand, like, I've seen the kill feed. I understand that as long as I don't die here, we're going to win the fight. Burn him down, and then we're going to win. So, right now, I go back to cart. I'm looking at the spawns right now, and I'm looking to see, okay, who's going to spawn right now? And I recognize, okay, these 4 have spawned. The tank is not going to make the spawn because he was the last one to die. So, I want to cap this as soon as possible and then walk up. If only 1 or 2 of them spawned, I could step out sooner. But if all 4 of them spawn, I can't 4v1 them. So I need to slow down and just make sure to get the cap quickly. Right now. And now I spin forwards. So, moving on to Junkertown, part 2. The goal here is you, as the tank, need to control this space, right? This space out here, right? That's my job. As a dive tank, as a poke tank, as a brawl tank, I need to somehow control this space over here, which means either spamming them, diving them, or getting onto high ground if you're a brawl hero, which is one of the reasons why brawl heroes aren't played here very often, because it's hard to get up there. But the good news is when you've won the previous fight and their team is not all ready to go, I can come up and take high ground early. Again, they got 4 people to spawn, so I can't take it from 4, even as a tank, especially without like good supports to like a brawly support. Like if a Baptiste follows me, we could totally do this. If a Kiriko follows me, we could do this. With a Mercy and an Iliari, the Iliari's probably sitting on the cart, so it's just like a Mercy. I can't. This is just too much damage for that. But I'm gonna poke out here. I'm trying to force out, whatever I can in the situation. Again, popping early Fortified because I know the sustained situation is a problem. I get the Mega, and my goal is okay. From here, I go up and take high ground this way, because I know that I've created enough space that my flankers should be able to get up here, right? The Genji, right, the Widow, they're all getting in position. And so I'm not trying to, obviously Sombra's here messing around, but that's not my job. So my job is not to like try to push up and win right now. It was to take the first feint, right, distract them. Now I rotate up, and they can hear it coming, but even if they hear it coming, what are they gonna do to stop me, right? Widow can't stop me, Kiriko can't stop me. I'm walking up here, even with no cooldowns, I'm perfectly comfortable taking this fight. I see Genji go in, right, I missed the javelin, unfortunate. you notice I'm playing slow here. I'm not dropping, trying to get any kills. I know the other tank is coming back soon, so I know I'm really far away from my supports because they were back here dealing with the Sombra. So I know that I'm going to be left out here in the cold for a while, which is fine. I just play slow, right? I just control high ground. All I gotta do is control this space here, and we're gonna win the fight. Like, I'm skipping the very first fight of this point completely by standing up here. Super, super important. All right, Risa's gonna come out, right? I come back, just going back, picking up Mercy. So, best thing about high ground is, in the event that you start losing a fight, I can just walk away, right? I can walk behind cover, I can step back, depending how deep the high ground is. The Risa does not have that luxury on the low ground, right? I'm gonna poke her out, she's gonna take a bunch of damage here, and she has nowhere to go, right? She has to pop spin right now, and I see, okay, Yorisa's low, but more importantly, I see the Kiriko come in, and I see Swift Step, and I see Suzu. What does that mean? Kiriko dies. At high level play, you waste your cooldowns, you die. Like 99% of the time, you die. Everybody sees this happen. This is recklessly dangerous. Now, granted, she kind of has to do this because Yorisa would have died otherwise, but I drop down, and I'm like, okay, cool. Easy Javelin, poke her down, dead. And with that, there's no way for the Yorisa to stay alive here. Yorisa's going to die. Now, second part of the point. What do I need to control? I need to control this area over here, right? All of this is what I need to control. Well, easiest way is to go up this way and take it. Otherwise, you can loop back on the backside, right at the bottom of the screen. But in this situation, I don't need to loop back to the right, right? Because that's going to take me longer because that's moving away from their side. So I turn back here because I hear the Genji. I just want to make sure the Genji doesn't kill anybody. Like, Genji is a very good chain killer. If he gets one kill, he can get a second one really easily, and then so forth. So poke out the Widow, make sure it's not a problem. Rotating, I take high ground. Again, taking the stairs is Brawl heroes, right? I have the advantage. I preemptively take high ground, so I don't have to take high ground against an entrenched opponent. If they were all set up here already, like we lost the fight and they're all set up, it's going to be way harder to take it. I don't have any great pieces of advice for you because it's going to be really hard. Like, there's not an easy way to break that. But now that I have the advantage, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to sit up on high ground early. And coming out here mostly to help out my Genji. I go for that Javelin. I accidentally dropped down. I did not mean to do that, but I go back this way. So you'll notice that I actually briefly thought this way is much safer and has a Mega, but I want to go this way because I need to lock down this room to prevent them from taking it. That forces them to go the long way this way or the long way this way. Both of these tunnels are really, really, really lousy on offense because they're straight lines with no cover. So I just want to lock up high ground to make sure they can't take this space over the cart is not available to them. Another early Fortify, again, recognizing that I don't have a lot of sustain. Risa's pop Fortify, I know it must be ending soon. I'm trying to work down these two. I force Genji dash right away, because Genji's like, oh shoot, like he needs to go help the cart. So the Genji's like, oh, well, if I'm going to block him off, he's going to dash through and then try to do something. Same thing for the Kiriko. Kiriko's like, oh shoot, I'm stuck. She Suzu's, and then she Swift Steps. That means they have no dash, they have no Swift Step. I burned all the mobility cooldowns just by standing in front of them. Like, this part probably does not seem as important as it is. It's actually super important. Right now, I force dash, and I force Swift Step. That means two heroes that rely on mobility to stay alive don't have mobility. What does that mean? I spin down the cart, and I pop ulti. And what can they do now, right? Their Widow even got to pick my Widow, but like literally there's nothing they can do at this moment in time to not die here, right? Kiriko dies, Genji nearly dies here. I look at him like, alright, great, fine, whatever. I have to work on the Yorisa. She's fighting me. I hear the Zen shooting as well, so I know I need to stay alive here. You'll notice that as I'm fighting the Zen, I'm going to drop to the opposite side of the cart to try to get out of LOS of him. I Javelin the Orisa off of me, and then I'm going to pop Fortify here to stay alive. Now I focus on the Zen. So, spin, right, get the kill. Now she's fortified, but I have a healer and she doesn't, so this is it. And that's going to be second point. Now, same deal as the previous point. When you cap it, right, early, and you have nothing else to do, right, you're definitely going to cap this, start rotating. So, for third point of Junkertown, you have to control this area over here, right? This high ground, this high ground, this high ground. This is where things get much more complicated for tanks as to like what you need to be doing. But as always, if you can get them off high ground, you need to do so. And that's what we're looking to do here again. So I'm looking for, again, as a hero that can't easily get the high ground, I'm looking for the early rotation to take high ground. So a lot of other heroes would run down like me and be like, oh, let me just shoot them. No. I need to go up and then take this, right? Take on top of fan. I guess we can call that fan, right? Rotating platform. Because from there, I can drop if I need to, but it also means I can take high ground. So by standing up here, I am denying this. If I play down here, the Widow grapples up, stands right here, and keeps shooting my team. But if I play up here, she can't do that. And I can constantly apply pressure to the Widow, right? Widow's trying to shoot me. Great. every second Widow is spending time trying to shoot me is a second she's not spending time killing my supports, which is phenomenal. The Widow cannot kill me. Like, even with an aimbot, she can't kill me. I'm way too tanky for that, right? If I'm actually in danger, I can pop any one of 3 cooldowns to save my life. So I'm like never in danger from the Widow at all. And you'll notice this entire fight area is being skipped right now because I'm controlling the high ground. This is so critical to like learn. Is as tanks, there's usually going to be about 3 fights here. 1 fight here, 2nd fight here, 3rd fight over here. If I play this correctly, I can skip at least one of these fights just by standing up here. Again, notice that nobody's able to contest the movement of the cart at all because of my forward space positioning. Going back to my perspective, I notice that there are 3 heroes here. I know that these is the Kiriko, the Zen, and the Widow up here. I also know that my Genji is here and my Mercy is on top of me, so I have 3. It's a 3-on-3 right now. Their tank is on low ground, so oh wow, how did she do this jump? Oh, I didn't even know you could do this jump. That's so cute. Wow, that's really neat. Yeah, you learned something new. But just notice right here is that I spun her off, which was not intentional, but we'll take it. But now I'm trying to force this 3-on-3 right now, because without a tank, we're actually in really, really good shape here. But in particular, I know that their team has Trance, because I never saw Trance the entire 2nd point, which means they have to have Trance for last. I also know that there's a Genji in my team who's about to have Blade. So ideally, we force Trance here, then Genji finishes them off after the Trance ends with Blade. So I'm going in right now. The Genji's going to dash past me. I can't like reliably hit the Genji. So I work on the Zen first, right? So Zen gets super low here, pops Trance. That's my job. That was my job, was to force Trance right now. Now my job is to stay alive, because no one's going to die in Trance. I try to retreat out of here, right? Javelin Genji, use spin, keep him back, right? Try to control the corner. I see our Genji's in. I'm like, okay, cool. I try to poke this Genji. Not great aim, right? But I'm like, okay, cool. As soon as our Genji died, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure we're going to lose this. But that's fine, because the card has been moving unopposed the whole time, A, and B, we forced out Trance. Now, unfortunately, we also wasted Blade, but at least we forced out Trance, right? And I used nothing for it. That was my teammate making a mistake there, like dying with Blade. Widow's going to pop me in the face right here. This is a mistake. I should have jiggle peeked this with the Javelin first before committing, or committed with the spin first. Just committing with spin first probably was a better idea, and then popping 4 to 5. I think I could have actually killed all 3 of them right here if I played this correctly. I'm almost like guaranteed that I could have killed all 3 of them. The primary issue is I eat this headshot, so I'm like pretty healthy right now. That headshot blows out my health way too fast, and then from here I just don't have to finish it. Either way, it's not a big deal. We obviously have 5 minutes left to go. We're gonna come back. Actually, I think I'm gonna stop here because they don't actually take high ground after this at all, and it's not like the rest of the video is not particularly interesting. I just smash them in the face until we win. Okay, I'm gonna hold there. Again, the whole focus here was around preemptive control of high ground, right? As non-mobile heroes, how important it is to rotate up there, right? Constantly take that space, deny it from the enemy, use it as much as you can, and that applies in defense too, right? If we do it in the reverse, it's stand on high ground first, then drop when you need to, or if you need to at all. Because you'll regret it if you're on low ground and you're like, oh wait, I wish I was on high ground right now. That's pretty much always a mistake. All right, hopefully this was helpful.